Hello YouTube fans, my name is Leo, and welcome back to another video by the Supersonic Lion. In this video, I'll be discussing a set of two bridges, but you can call them one bridge, in Texas that are a disaster waiting to happen. But before we continue, please hit that subscribe button and leave a like and a comment on this video, because that will show the YouTube community that this channel has some very cool information like this. So, in the United States alone, millions of people use bridges, maybe even multiple bridges, to get to work or wherever else they need to go. And generally speaking, they don't think of a plan that they're going to take if those bridges happen to collapse or be closed. However, if you live anywhere near these three cities in southern Texas, you really should start thinking about that. Port Arthur, Port Neches, and Orange, right by the Neches River and Texas State Highway 87, where two very scary structures lie. And why do they even exist in the first place? In order for me to tell you that, I have to get you back to why the Texas government even thought bridges should exist around there in the first place. And that's because of the early 20th century oil rise in that region. And then, in addition to usual traffic, industrial trucks started needing to use this area pretty frequently as well. So, the best solution they thought was to build a bridge. In 1938, that would become the Rainbow Bridge. But it's not just any old bridge. You see, the Rainbow Bridge is very tall. At 177 feet tall, it is only 6 inches shorter than Italy's Leaning Tower of Pisa. Pretty cool, right? Well, maybe not so much if you understand why it has to be so tall. The tallest bridge in all of Texas, even as I'm recording this video today on May 31st, 2026. It's because of, you guessed it, ships. And ships are often a major problem when building bridges over any waterway, because they have to pass through, and the bridge needs to be built with enough space for the ship to pass through, and that was a big challenge. You might think a lift is enough, but with the amount of traffic that was traveling through the area, that was just not feasible. Before you say, hey, why are boats so important? Let me take you back to a video I made 2 years ago on my channel anniversary. On March 26th, 2024, Baltimore, Maryland's Francis Scott Key Bridge was hit by a massive container ship and collapsed to pieces. And for the first time since the bridge was built in 1977, Baltimore, Maryland was halted as the harbor did not have adequate crossings except for the two tunnels that were crossed, which both aren't accessible by certain hazmat trucks, plus other challenges that I talked about in that video. So if you want to learn more, please watch that video. But from that incident, you can see why a boat hitting a bridge is not something anybody wants to see, and why it has to be solved before it even happened. So they built, you guessed it, this really tall structure, the Rainbow Bridge, which goes up, then straight, and then back down. Imagine yourself riding a roller coaster. When you drive on this bridge, you'd feel something like that, except not in a train car, in your car or truck itself. Pretty cool, right? Well, over the next several decades, it wasn't so cool because traffic was increasing, and at the end of the 20th century, it was so big the government decided to build a second crossing in the same area, a cable-stayed bridge called the Veterans Memorial Bridge, standing next to the truss bridge of the Rainbow Bridge. And this bridge was built in 1990, but they did something that you're probably not expecting. You see, instead of making 2 lanes on both bridges and making them 2 separate bridges, the bridges essentially act together, and that's what's so dangerous about them. The Rainbow Bridge still carries one direction, and the new Veterans Memorial Bridge, as it's called, carries another direction of traffic, so the bridges work together. If one bridge fails, the other one is very clogged up. And before you think, hey, that's fantasy, only the Francis Scott Key Bridge did that, not so fast there. Just last year, and even up to April of this year, the Rainbow Bridge was closed for maintenance, which it needs a lot of, considering its age. It is almost 90 years old. And even the Veterans Memorial Bridge, which is only 36 years old, needs constant maintenance as well. The age of these bridges is not hiding itself. And for that reason, the Texas State Highway 87 was clogged for a whole year while the bridge was closed. So maybe you want to start planning your backup route if you live anywhere in the area. Pretty cool or not, right? Well, that's all the information I have for this video, so bye, comment, like, and subscribe for more, and see you next time.